What's up, YouTube? Yu-Gi-Oh! Tube here, and we have definitely an interesting discussion today. And that discussion, it's come across many times from many other collectors asking me, alright, can you please make a video on investing or just talking about the prices of Yu-Gi-Oh! International cards in terms of mainly the OCG and the Japanese cards, although there are German and Italian cards, international cards, whatever you may call it. What's the deal with these? Why are some so expensive? Why are some so cheap? You know, are they worth buying into? Are they worth buying for my collection? Will they hold value? Will they go up in value? Will they go down in value? Of course, I'm just a guy. I can't tell anybody what's definitively going to go up, what's definitively going to go down, because there's always variables and uncertainty and risk and all that crap. However, Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG Japanese cards. There's reason to be optimistic at the current price points. I've been telling people I wouldn't go jumping into the OCG Japanese market simply because the demand for the market is nowhere near the demand for the TCG English Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. If you're looking to buy Japanese cards and flip them for a profit, be prepared to wait, and wait a very long time. Yes, you might make a solid return on your investment. However, it may take a long time just to make the return on the investment. Japanese cards, you know, a lot of people were not even exposed to Japanese cards in the OCG back in the day, especially because the internet was still kind of in that revolutionary phase. We didn't really have much activity going on eBay, or as much activity on eBay, international websites, where now we can simply go to eBay and search Yu-Gi-Oh! Japanese, Ultimate Rare, Thousand Eyes Restrict, and boom, you know, you got 10 listings. So, Japanese cards, this is the bottom line, in my opinion. Great to collect, not to invest. Japanese cards look tremendous. The card stock, the thickness, the quality of the card is much better than that of the English counterparts, and that's not only in Yu-Gi-Oh!, that's as well in Pokemon. Again, I'm not 100% sure on Magic, but I know in Pokemon as well the quality is much better than that of the TCG or the English cards. So overall, and you know, this actually reflects to Pokemon as well. If there's any Pokemon fans out there, Japanese cards are always in Pokemon much cheaper than English cards. In Yu-Gi-Oh!, typically single cards are much cheaper as well, typically. There are the promo cards, there are the prize cards, there are the championship cards that are, you know, obviously the outliers, the differences. But for the most part, in both of these markets, in the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon section or segment of the market, we're seeing lower single prices on Japanese cards than English cards. Why? Again, it's not because Japanese were mass-produced and English were just very low production. Simply because the demand is sitting with the English cards. The demand for the English cards is so much more than that of the Japanese cards. Again, that's not to say, well, you know, I wouldn't collect them, because honestly, at the price points they're at, I think there is room for growth. So let's take an example for Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, there's a lot of ultimate rare cards in Japanese that were not ultimate rares, or sometimes not even holos. Foils in English cards. But there are these ultimate rares that are only available in Japanese. Not only that, guys, but the ultimate rares in Japanese aesthetically look so much better than that of any English ultimate rare card. So again, and that reflects on the quality. And when you're buying at a price, you know, that's a fifth of that of the English card. If you're buying an ultimate rare for $5, when the English card goes for $25, it's like, you know, why not? It looks nice. It's the same card, just in a different language. You know, and I kind of like it. Having said that, again, I think the demand for it is not going to be substantial. I think if you want to flip something like that, you're going to have to be prepared to wait. You might make your money, and you should make your money. But, again, you'll have to be prepared to wait. And that brings up the next point here, which is the very perplexing issue in regards to OCG. The booster boxes, the deck boxes, the special boxes in Japanese We're looking at Structure Deck Volume 1. We're looking at Volume Booster 1, Booster 2. They don't even have the Eye of Anubis on the corner. There are some of the original sets ever produced. A lot of those cards didn't even hit the English TCG, so they're Japanese only exclusive. Those are extremely expensive right now. I mean, you can look at a starter box from 1999, 1998, before the EXR box, which actually I opened the EXR box, but let's take a look at like the EX starter box. Again, it was like a year or two before that. I mean, you're seeing prices of, 400 for the starter deck box. The structure decks, you're seeing about 200 a pop, give or take, each deck, so those are still very collectible. Why? Because they have the main characters, the main iconic cards, the nostalgic cards, some of the first ever printings of the cards. Why are the G4 God cards and PSA 10 worth a lot of money right now? Well, because the G4 God cards are from Game Boy Color. They were the first ever God cards released. And also keep in mind, the older Japanese cards had a bigger box for the actual photo. So let's say you have an obelisk in Japanese, one of the first printings. The photo is actually bigger. If you have it side to side with a TCG card, the photo on the obelisk is bigger on the Japanese card. And you also have the cool attack defense box in a different position, and you have the description on the left side. So there are some differences, and honestly, if you're looking for the originals, it's not a bad option. If you're looking for the original Blue Eyes, there are original Blue Eyes out there in the OCG market. I am not 100% big expert on this market, but I am well versed enough to tell you that it's pretty darn sweet. The cards look pretty awesome, and then you have the Tokyo Dome cards, the Trihorn Dragon, the Gate Guardian, the Dark Magician of Black Chaos. Those are cool as well. But again, going off topic, the booster boxes, the decks, everything, even, Magic Ruler Metal Raiders booster boxes in Japanese are going for big money. Pharaonic Guardian, big money. And then you look at the cards and you're like, okay, the Ultimate Rare, the Ultra Parallel Rares, which, again, were originally Japanese exclusive before they came to the Hobby League cards in English. Those cards look beautiful. They have that shiny surface. I mean, those cards are $2, $3 each, And, second here. Okay. Those cards are $3 each. And if that's the hit of the box, if you open a box and you say, wow, this is the best card I can get, this Buster Blader Ultimate Rare, or this Buster Blader Ultra Parallel Rare is the best card I can get, and it's worth $10, $15, and I paid $200 a box, or $150 a box, then it's like, what's the discrepancy here? And that's the good question. The reasoning for me that the boxes in OCG in Japanese are worth much more than the singles is simply because you have the artwork value. I mean, the artwork on those boxes were unbelievable. Unbelievable artwork. You have the sealed box collectors, and in this case there are many out there. There are a lot of sealed box collectors, and you do have scarcity of the sealed boxes themselves. Maybe one day you'll have a Japanese wholesaler, retailer, whatever, say, oh my god, in my storage, in my stock, I just found 300 boxes of Japanese OCG sealed box cards. He might flood the market eventually. I don't know. You can never tell the future with that. But for the most part, those booster boxes, those deck boxes, the starter decks, all that old stuff, the original booster series, Booster 1, Booster 2, Booster 3, 4, 5, those are extremely difficult to come by. The vending boosters, they're extremely tough to find sealed. But again, you have that big disparity and that big gap between the single cards from those rare sets and the sealed product. And the sealed product, I don't mention this as many of the other videos, sealed product is always king. Sealed product will always outsell the raw cards, simply because of the potential in the sealed product. However, in this case, I think it's a little different. I think people are buying for the collection, for the sealed collection. They don't ever go on eBay or on the resale market often, and they just look pretty amazing. Some of the artworks are just never seen in the TCG, so it's pretty cool there. And again, that's my reasoning. And then you come to the point where I say, yes, single cards right now in Japanese, in my opinion, have room to grow. They do have room to grow, but you're not going to see a huge, substantial spike all of a sudden, simply because the demand does not equate to that kind of spike. The demand at most, in my opinion, will be a slow, steady, gradual growth, which isn't bad for Japanese cards. But I think there are better options out there of looking to invest. However, I think if you are buying those rare ultimate rares, Japanese OCG cards, or the ultra parallel rares Japanese cards, I think you can't go wrong with that stuff, simply because eventually that stock has to dry, because there's so many big Japanese dealers selling it right now. But that stock will diminish eventually, and when it does, prices will go up. But again, it's not like people are going to say, oh my god, I need my Japanese, whatever it may be, ultra parallel rare all of a sudden. They're not going to be like a feeding frenzy, like a Blue Eyes or an Exodia or Red Eyes, whatever it may be, in English. That's just how it is. So, till next time, Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, signing out.